very excited that my dear colleague and friend, Rabbi Diana Miller, will be sharing some of her many talents with us in this session doing Torah yoga. So Rabbi Diana, for those of you who don't know, in addition to being the rabbi for now a decade at Kihilat HaNahar in New Hope, is also, I'm going to butcher this, a Jiva Mukti certified yoga teacher. And she's a yoga instruction teacher and also does meditation. And she's going to now share her amazing gifts with us. And if you're like me, you might want to pull out a yoga mat for your space and give yourself some space in front of your screen to follow along. And also, we're going to encourage participants in the session, if you're comfortable, to make active your video so everyone can see each other, only if you're comfortable, but we encourage you to do so. Anyway, thank you so much, Rabbi Diana, and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, everybody. So I want to let everyone know that it would be great if you could get a chair or something to sit on for some of the time. Either that, or also we might do a balance, like a tree pose, so we might want a wall nearby. And also, I both can't see most of you and don't know anything about you in terms of if you have injuries or anything like that. So I'm going to ask you to take good care of yourself and modify in any way that you might need to today to feel comfortable and safe during this class. So there's always a question of what is Torah yoga. I was trained by Diane Bloomfield and Rabbi Miriam Klatz, as well as kind of intuitively putting some things together for my practices many years ago. And currently I'm studying Iyengar yoga, practicing it regularly. But it's essentially using the body and the ancient tools from yoga to access wisdom and learn Torah in its broadest sense. So right now, I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable seat. You can be sitting either on the ground, cross-legged, or on a chair. And let your seat relax down. If your feet are on the ground, let them settle. Let your spine lengthen. Broaden your collarbones. Soften your facial muscles. And just for a moment, close your eyes. Begin to feel the breath. From the sitting bones descending, feel a lengthening up, a buoyancy in your spine and your rib cage. Ears floating over, shoulders, back of the neck long. We're going to start today with a nigun, a wordless melody. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. I'm going to mute you so you could please join in with me. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. I yada die die die. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. I die 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 I die die. Boy yada die die die. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. I die 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 I die die. Ya die 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 ya die. I die 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 ya die die. I die 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 die. I die 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 die. Opening your eyes. If you're sitting cross-legged, please cross the other leg on top. If you're still sitting on a chair, you can stay where you are. And bring your arms out to your side and lengthen out through your fingers. Fingers out in line with shoulders. Let the palms face up, rotating the elbows up, shoulders up. Reaching and reaching, expanding. Stretch your arms overhead, breathing in, lengthening up through your inner arms, letting the sitting bones descend, finding space, creating space between the ribs, breathing in, breathing out. Take one more deep inhale in, reach up, and exhale, release the arms down. And everyone, please stand up, rise up. So we are going to move right into a mountain pose, which is a standing pose with your feet either right next to each other or hip width distance apart. On our Jewish calendar right now, we are on this 49-day journey known as the Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. And this is moving from Yetziat Mitzrayim, leaving Egypt, leaving a place of narrowness, and moving into the wilderness and towards Sinai, where we'll receive Torah again. So right now we'll start with mountain pose. And you can look down at your feet, spread out your toes. Find yourself standing on all four corners of each foot. Let your thighs move back a little bit in space, tailbone down and in. Broaden again at your collarbones and sense a lengthening of your spine up as your arms move down, fingers gently spread. Again, take your arms out to the side. First, the palms face down and just really stretch. So what we're trying to do is find space, moving away from narrowness. The Hasidim say that when you're contracted in your consciousness, you're in Egypt. When you're seeing things too small, you're in that tight place, that's your Egypt. When you're expanded consciousness, that's leaving Egypt. So we're in the wilderness now. Let your palms face up. Take your arms up overhead. So the understanding of both Torah and yoga is that our consciousness is not just somewhere in our brain. Our whole body is a field of consciousness. As the feet press down, as you grip the muscles, lift your rib cage up, lift your upper arms up, your wrists, your fingers. Take one deep breath in and exhale, float the arms down. Good. So the full celebration of Zman Torotenu, of the place of freedom, is to break free of the places in our lives where we're stuck in narrowness. And we're trying to refine ourselves on this journey of these 49 days towards Sinai. So let's take our hands and interlace the fingers. Have the fingers face the other direction, outward, and then take the arms up. Now, if this is too much, you can always let your palms still face down if it's too much on your shoulders. Otherwise, lengthen up through your inner arms, find that spaciousness, let the feet remain parallel and pressing down, hugging in the muscles of the legs as you stretch up the side body, stretch up the inner arms, bring the elbows closer toward each other. Take one more deep breath in and exhale your arms down, but keep hold of your fingers and then recross with the other thumb on top. Stretch it out now, if it's possible for your shoulders, so the palms face away from you, and lift up again. So we're on this journey now. We're finding ourselves in our lives in a tighter place than usual since we're quarantined and we're looking at each other in these small little boxes. And we're trying to find the spaciousness even within the places of constriction. Breathing in, breathing out, lifting up. One more deep breath in, and exhale your arms down. Roll your shoulders up and back and around. And now, if it's possible for you, I forgot to say, if you might need something like a sock or a belt Some of us have a belt, some of us have a sock or anything, a shirt, because we're going to take our arms behind us and try to interlace our fingers. And if you can't, if that's too much for you, then you hold on to a belt. That's fine, or a shirt, anything. So what we're doing is we're either holding on to that belt or interlacing our fingers, rolling the shoulders back, and then stretching the arms. And taking a few deep breaths here. If ever anything feels like it's too much, soften out of that. So we want to have a healthy balance of effort and ease in each pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, now bend your elbows and recross with the other thumb on top. Roll the shoulders back, press your feet down, heels down, and then if possible, either holding onto that belt or your fingers, stretch the arms back again. Breathing in, opening up and expanding at the chest. Breathing out. And release. Roll the shoulders up and back and just pause in this mountain pose with your feet either together or hip width distance. Gaze forward as if out at the horizon with the eyes easy. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, take your arms out to the side, palms face up, and then stretch the arms up. Stretch the arms up. From here, we're going to take a seat in a fierce, uneven pose. So you kind of sit down in your seat as the arms still stretch up. You'd actually, I should have you see, we're not actually in our chair. It's actually just bringing your hips back, but keeping the torso lifting, the arms lifting. This is why it's called fierce, uneven, or even awkward pose. Try that. Couple more breaths. And come on up. And let the arms float down. Okay. So we are going to do a modified downward facing dog to stretch out some more in our spine. So you can either take your hands to a wall or have your chair. Some of you might know downward dog very well. If you're very comfortable with it, you can do it on your own, on your mat. But otherwise, you can watch that I'm taking my chair and I'm walking my hips back and I'm lengthening my spine here, really stretching, taking a hold of the chair with the hands shoulder distance apart. The feet can either be hip width distance or even wider. If you're tight, you can have your feet as wide as your mat. And if it's hurting your lower back, you can always bend your knees a little bit. But you're stretching your spine here, really lengthening by pressing the thighs back. And stay with that a few breaths. Pressing the thighs back, breathing into shoulders. Again, you can either be on your mat if you're comfortable and practiced. Otherwise, use your chair or the wall. If you have anything you need to say at any point, you can write me in a chat or unmute yourself. Take a couple more breaths here. And then come back up. Okay, good. So we are going to move into a few standing poses. So you're going to take, if you have a chair nearby, this might help you out. We're going to come into a triangle pose. So we take our legs wide, roll the shoulders back, your hands can come to your hips. And then turn your right toes out and your left toes in just a little bit. And you can intersect your right heel with the middle of your left foot. Hips face forward. Stretch your arms way out to the side. Tilt a little bit toward the right, hips shifting toward the left, and you can bring your hand down onto the chair. Look forward, stretch that left arm up. Stay there for a few breaths. I'm just looking at you, so you can stay in your triangle pose, breathing in, breathing out. Good. And press your feet down. Inhale, coming all the way up. Okay, let's try the other side. This time your legs are wide again. You can bring your hands to your waist. Turn your left toes all the way out and your right toes in just a little bit for triangle pose. Stretch your arms way out to the side. Let your hips shift over a little bit to the right as you tip toward the left, lengthening your spine, lengthening, and place that left hand down either on the shin or on a chair and stretch the right arm up. With your feet pressing down, hug the muscles in, lengthen your spine, reach that right arm up. You can look forward, breathing in, breathing out. Always creating more space between the ribs, between the thoughts. And press your feet down, inhale, and exhale, release the arms. Okay. We're gonna try that one more time, triangle pose. Any questions? Okay, so take your feet wide again. Look down at your feet. Turn your right toes out so that the foot is parallel with the edges of the mat, and your left toes in just a bit. Stretch your arms out to the side. Begin to reach toward the right and place your right hand down either on the chair or on the shin and stretch the left arm up, lengthening here. And inhale, come up. Exhale, arms to down and hands to your waist. And just shift over, left toes out, right toes in a little bit. As you press the feet down, hug the muscles of the legs, stretch the arms out, take a deep breath in, shift over, and exhale. Bring your right arm up, triangle pose. Lengthening both sides of the body here, continuing to hug the muscles of the legs. Press your feet down, inhale, coming all the way up, and exhale your arms down. Okay, good. Let's now take a wider stance with our feet and let the feet be parallel to each other. So we're going to come into a warrior pose. So as we're counting the Omer, we're on the 24th day and we're in the week of Netzach, which is endurance. So a warrior pose really asks us to cultivate endurance and to both know what's happening in front of us and to have an awareness of what's happening behind us as well, which kind of makes sense on our journey. So let's take a wide stance, wider than triangle with your feet. Your hands can be at your waist. And then turn your right toes out, left toes in just a little bit, and begin to bend that front knee so that the right thigh becomes more and more parallel to the floor, but the right knee tracks over the right ankle. Stretch your arms out to the side. The right knee is tracking over the ankle. You might need to separate your feet some more. Stretch those arms like we did at the beginning. Back leg is strong. Outer left foot is pressing into the ground. And then if possible, gaze out over the front right fingers. See what's in front of you. Continue to sense that left arm behind you. So kind of aware about where we're coming from, even as we have our eye on where we're going. Breathing in and breathing out. Come down a little bit more. And then bring your hands to your waist. Straighten out that right foot. And let's pivot on our heels and turn to the other side. The left toes out. The right toes in. Roll the shoulders back. And start to bend that front left knee so that the thigh comes more and more parallel toward the ground. It may not get there today, but that's the direction. And then go ahead and stretch the arms out, lengthening like a wingspan. If possible, gaze out over the left fingers. from the strength of the right leg, strong and straight. Sit down a little bit more in your seat on the left side. Reach back with the right hand as your left arm stretches as well. Take a couple more breaths here. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn the feet parallel. Bring your hands to your waist. And bring your feet back together to mountain pose. Feet together or hip width distance. Pause here for a moment. Gaze out toward the horizon. Eyes easy. Jaw easy. Let's take that warrior again. This time we're going to add something onto it. So take a very wide stance. Turn your right toes out, left toes in. Now bend that front thigh and place your right forearm on the thigh. Roll the left shoulder back and stretch your left arm up into the sky. And then take it a diagonal. Stretching, stretching, opening up the chest, making sure that that front knee is over the ankle, tracking over it. And as you press the left foot down, find a long line of energy from the left leg all the way up to the left waist, through the left arm, wrist. Spin the chest open and coming up. Arms out to the side, bring your hands to your waist. Let's switch sides. Turn your right toes out, left toes in. Beginning to sit down into that left side, so the left thigh becomes more and more parallel. Stretch your arms out to the side first in a warrior. Then go ahead and take your left arm down. Stretch your right arm up. And if possible for your shoulders, take it over your ears. You spin the chest open. Tracking that left knee over the ankle. And reaching through that right wrist. Down through the right side body. Planting that right foot down to the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then coming all the way up, inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, parallel your feet. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Okay, stay here with your feet wide. Roll your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in and lift up your chest. And then exhale, start to come forward, if this is okay, on your back. And you'll kind of, like anchors, drop your hands down toward the ground. If they don't reach, that's fine. Just keep them on your waist or on your shins. But if they can reach the ground, take your hands to the ground, fingertips on the ground, underneath your shoulders, look forward, and then allow your head to release down. So in any way you can right here, just like your head release. If this is altogether too much, you can plant your body on a chair or on a bed and just relax your head down for a moment. So breathing into this forward bend. Head release. Legs stay strong if possible. You can imagine your feet are like cookie cutters pressing directly down as your thighs remain strong. And then look up, walk your feet a little closer toward each other, bring your hands to your waist, roll your shoulders back, and come on up. Okay. So we're going to move into the one balance we're going to do today, which is a tree pose. So for many of us, we might want to have a chair or a wall nearby. Let's see. Okay, hoping you can see this. So we're going to, this time I will mirror you. So we're stepping on our right foot and taking our left knee out to the side a little bit. let your hips face forward. You can imagine headlights facing forward. And that right leg it oftentimes wants to jut out to the side. Lift it up. Let your torso be long. And we'll take the left leg now. And if possible, you can either stay at the shin, inner shin, or you can take it up to the inner thigh. And press that left foot into the right leg. And keep straightening out that right leg. Now you can stay here because your chair or the wall is there, or you can bring your hands to your heart, rolling the shoulders back. Or you can experiment with balance, stretching the arms up into the air, lengthening your torso, lifting your ribcage right off your hips, gazing forward, imagining that your hips on down or root system beneath the ground, supported so that you can lift up, lengthen, blossom. Bring your hands back to your heart, your knee forward, and release down into mountain pose. If you have a chair, take it to the other side or another position with the wall. This time our left foot and leg will be the steady one. And we'll take our right knee out to the side, let the hips face forward. You can either stay there in the little sapling pose or begin to bring your right foot up to the inner shin or inner left thigh. And pause here for a moment and really stretch that left leg so it's good and straight. It's not sagging out to the side. It's really lifting. And when you do that, you can feel your whole body lengthen. Whereas the right knee and the right inner thigh reaches down toward the ground. You can either stay here with support or start to play with balance. And it is play because if we come out of it, then we're just seeing where we are today. As you ground down through the roots of the left leg, roll the shoulders back, lift the rib cage, and either stay here or begin to stretch the arms up toward the sky. Bring your hands back to heart center. Let your knee come forward and release. Roll the shoulders back. Good. Okay. We're now going to find our chair, and I'll show on either a chair or on the ground. If you're seated on the ground and you're comfortable, let's see. Actually, I'll first join in the chair so those who are in the chair can get started. I'm going to take my left leg and put it over my right thigh. And the foot remains relaxed over the edge. I'm going to lengthen my spine and come forward just a little bit. You can start to feel that left hip. So it's a lengthening up and I'm moving forward. This might be enough. Now you can do the same thing on the ground if you prefer to be on the ground, but I think a chair is perfectly fine if you have one. So we'll just stay here and breathe into this gentle hip opener. Each inhalation, lift up. Each exhalation, just moving forward a little bit so you can feel that, hello, here I am in the hip sensation. If it hurts, come out of it. Take a couple breaths here. One of the things that a yoga practice does is it helps us come up against the tight places, and instead of ignoring them or avoiding them, just noticing them and breathing into them and creating more spaciousness, less constriction. Okay, release. Let's try the other side. Lift up that right leg now and cross the shin over the left thigh. Lengthen, take a deep breath in. And exhale. Moving into wherever you can feel the sensation, not going past anything, just moving into it with the breath. Breathing in, grow tall. Exhale, slightly forward. all the while keeping the facial muscles relaxed. Couple more breaths here. And then place both feet on the ground. We're going to take a little twist. If you prefer to take a twist that you're already practiced with on the ground, that's fine. But if you're on a chair, you can just take your right hand around you and your left hand to the outer right leg, and inhale, lift up, and exhale, turn toward the right. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, turn. Inhale, the spine grows tall, and exhale, you very gently turn. And you can imagine like a candy cane stripe, how there's a squeezing and a circling, a spiraling with each breath. And we come back to center and switch sides. Taking your left hand behind you now, your right hand to the outer left thigh. Inhale, grow very tall, and exhale, turning toward the left. Stay with it a few breaths. Each inhalation, growing tall, spiraling up and around as you exhale. And come back to center. Okay. So we're going to come to the ground now. So I'll try to show this. We're going to do a half, a reverse table. So I think you can probably see me down here. I'm going to bend my knees and let my feet be parallel with each other. I'm going to take my hands, and if you have tight shoulders, it's good to have the fingers facing, have the fingers facing to the sides. If your shoulders aren't too tight, you can have the fingers facing toward you. So what I'm going to do is roll my shoulders back, press my feet down, and begin to lift up my hips and just look up toward the sky or towards your knees. And take a few breaths, lengthening your tailbone toward your knees, pressing your feet down, breathing in, breathing out. And release your hips down. Just pause there for a moment. We're going to try it again one more time. Spread your toes, look down at your feet, let the feet be parallel. Roll the shoulders back. Again, if you found that your shoulders are really tight, let the fingers face away from you, kind of toward the side mat. Otherwise, the fingers face toward your seat. Roll the shoulders back and press the feet down to lift up the hips, lengthening the tailbone toward the knees. Breathing in, breathing out. You can either look toward your knees or up toward the sky. And release the hips. Now, I want you to come to lay your body down and your head on the ground, and then hug your right knee into your chest and just stay there for a few breaths. Hug your right knee into your chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Back of the neck is long. If you feel comfortable in your lower back, you can always straighten out that left leg and let the toes point up toward the sky. The thigh bone release. But it's fine to keep your knee bent. And then place both feet down again on the ground, and this time hug your left knee in. Roll the shoulders back, broaden, Press the collarbones. Hug that left knee in. If you did some on the other side, if your back feels okay, you can try straightening out that right leg with the toes pointing up, lengthening. And now I want you to hug both knees into your chest and just give yourself a little gentle, relaxing massage on your lower back, circling around, breathing in to all places in the back and the shoulders as you circle around, massaging. Now we're going to be moving into a final relaxation. So if you have a blanket you could place underneath your head, if that's comfortable for you, you're going to be placing your whole body down in corpse pose. So you can do so by stretching your legs out, really stretching them out, and then just letting the feet relax. Moving the arms a little bit away from the body. Let the palms face up. Nestle the shoulder blades underneath you. If you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close. And allow the eyeballs to drop down into their sockets like they're floating in pools of water. Unhinge the jaw. Soften the root of the tongue. Releasing any effort. Letting the back body spread and release. We're moving in this journey toward Matan Torah. And it's said in a midrash that the Torah is like the wilderness. It has to be as ownerless as wilderness. So we're moving into a place of rest now where we can just allow the thoughts to quiet down, the brain to drop back into the skull. You can rest in what's behind the mind, open and spacious, receptive. As you feel the gentle rising and falling of the belly, invite the softening the skin, the resting of the bones. Inviting the matan, the gift in the wilderness, to arise, to be received. Beginning to deepen the breath, wiggling your fingers and toes. And slowly stretching your arms overhead, stretching out your legs. Rolling over, if you're on the ground, to your right side, and just resting there with your head on your blanket or on your arms, lingering there for a moment. Slowly find your way back up to sit, either in the chair or on the floor. Let your eyes close again for a moment. We'll end with the same nigun that we started with. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi 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 da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da da da. Hi da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. Hi da 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 da. I want to thank everyone for practicing together today and wishing everyone a safe and healthy journey during these days as we're in the wilderness together, moving towards receiving Torah, and that everyone should stay well and open and receptive at this time. So thank you, Rabbi Weiss, for organizing this. I will unmute everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
You're welcome.